Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today's pattern, I'm actually using a kit that someone gave to me and they had miscut some of the pieces, so I've come up with a new design. So to begin with, we need to be making nine patches, and each 9 patch is made of series of 2-inch squares. You're going to be using 5 darks and 4 lights per block, and these ones sewn together will end up being 5 inches unfinished or 4.5 finished. So having completed the 9 patches, and again we made 9 of those, we're going to set those aside for now, and we're going to make 12 of these rail fences. So these are 5-inch strips in length, and each one is 2 inches wide, and we're going to need to make 12 of those. I'm calling this in the brown theme because we will also be making some others that have black here. The next component is similar to the last one we just made. The only difference is instead of a dark brown, we're going to be using a black. We need to make 12 of these blocks. They will measure 5 inches square once you trim them up, and they are made of 3 strips. Each one is 2 inches deep by 5 inches wide. So again, this is black, low volume, and another low volume fabric. We now need to make a 5-inch square block, and to start with this, we start with a 3.5-inch square. This is kind of in a mid-tone color. Then we're going to add to it a 3.5-inch wide by 2-inch darker strip. I'm using black, and then once those are pieced, then we're going to add with a 1/4-inch seam a side strip, which will measure 2 inches wide by 5 inches deep. We'll sew those together and then we'll square them up to 5 inches square. So again, we're making 4 of those. Next up, we need to make 8 6-patch blocks. These are made out of 2-inch squares. So I've got our dark alternating with the mid-tone. So we'll have dark, 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 and then the mid, 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 staggered like that. And these will measure 4.5 wide by 5 inches once they're all pieced together. So I will go ahead and make 8 of those. And the last unit before we can start putting this all together is this one. We need to make 4 of these, and these will measure 5 inches by 8 inches unfinished, or 7.5 by 4.5 once they're included in the finished quilt. So to begin with this, you're going to need 4 pieces of fabric. You'll need a 2-inch by 8-inch dark. I didn't have a long enough one, so I joined 2 together. And then on the inside of that, you'll need a 3.5 by 5-inch piece. I thought the dark brown works well with the black, and it came as part of the fabric package, so that's what I'm going to use. And then you need 2 pieces that each measure 2 inches by 3.5. So what I did is I used a 1/4-inch seam here and here, and then I pressed those, and then I added this to the top. I found by pressing this seam open, it seemed to lay a lot flatter, but I'll leave that up to you. So let me go ahead and finish these up, and then we can start doing the final assembly. The first section that we're going to piece together are the outer corners, and they are all the same. So we're going to take 2 of the 9 patches and have them laid out diagonally, and then we'll have 2 of the rail fences with the dark brown, and they need to be orientated this way. And I've put one together so you can see what they look like. So that's what it's going to look like when they're all sewn together. So again, we need 4 of those. The next block will be used on the top, the bottom, and both sides. And what we need to do is we're going to be using the 6 patches. So we put one this way, and then we put this block that we just finished, number 6, like that. And then we have another 6 patch. You want to have the lighter part facing towards this dark edge here. Hope you can see that all. And then we're going to take the rail fences with the black. We're going to have one in the center, and then we'll take another and have it with the dark facing up towards the main seam, and another this way. So what I found the easiest way to do is to do this as one section, then this is a section, and then you join them together with a 1/4 inch seam. And this is what it looks like when they're all done. So we're going to be making 4 of those. So here's a quick update of where we are in the final assembly of this humongous quilt block. So you'll see the 4 corners that we did first, and then the sides, top and bottom. And now we just have to do the center block. So I'll show you how that all comes together, and then we have a couple seams and it'll be all done. So hang in, we're almost there. So the center of this design is the icing on the cake. I think it helps pull it all together. So let's get started with it. I've broken it into 3 subunits. So we're going to be using these pieces here, which were number 5 in our assembly of the blocks. Then we're using the rail that has the dark brown, and that will be going like that. And then we'll be taking another one of these and we'll put it like that. So that'll be the top. Then we have a center part, which is going to be another one of the rail. Just move these up. The last of the 9 patches, another rail. And then this last part is a repeat of the top, just going the other way. So again, we have this piece that faces in like that. It's almost like a picture frame, and this by itself would make a nice block, I think. And then we go like that with the dark brown rail facing in, and then the other corner. So once I get this all put together, then we'll start doing the final assembly. So what I will do, I'll do these in rows. So piece these, then I'll go back and piece these, and then this, and then do one final 2 seams with a 1/4 inch. Here it is all done without any additional borders. It measures approximately 32 to 33 inches unfinished. I think I will add some top and bottom borders. I'll have to dig through my other fabric to see what I can find to make it work. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up and a comment. I always love to hear from people. And until next time, please sew safely and sew with Debee. Take care and bye for now.